everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa and I'm a nursing student. So I want to start off by wishing everybody a happy new year. I'm actually filming this on December 31st, 2023, so it's New Year's Eve, but by the time that this video is posted and uploaded, it will be 2024. So I hope that everybody had a great 2023 and I'm wishing everybody a happy and prosperous 2024. So in today's video, it's going to be different because I am not going to be talking about nursing and nursing school and healthcare like I usually do. Today's video is going to be me creating a vision board for 2024. I have never created a vision board before, but I've always heard about them and I've seen them, and it's kind of always something that I've wanted to do, but something that I do every year, and I've done it since I was a teenager, is every year at New Year's Eve, I sit down and I just take time to reflect on the year that just passed, and I look ahead to the upcoming year. So this is 2024, and I write down a list of goals and things that I want to either accomplish or see or do during the new year. And it just kind of helps me like center myself and focus and kind of, I guess the word that people use now is manifest, but it kind of like manifests my future. So this year, instead of sitting down and writing out everything, I thought it would be nice to create visuals. And so I'm going to create a vision board. Instead of using a poster and cutting out like magazine clippings or using paper or anything like that, I decided to make it digital. So I have my laptop here and I'm going to make an electronic vision board. And then I'm going to take the vision board and make it my background on my laptop. That way, every day when I open up my laptop, I can visualize all of the things that I want to happen in 2024. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and get started with the actual making of the vision board. I have my laptop propped up here, and this is all very makeshift, by the way. If you guys could see the behind the scenes, you would think it's ridiculous. I'm sitting on a stool and my laptop is sitting on top of a suitcase, a really thick blanket, and then I just propped up my laptop here to do like a little makeshift desk for you guys. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started. And like I said, this is my first time making a vision board, especially digitally, so please bear with me. I will be using two websites or two applications primarily for this. This video is not sponsored, I wish it was, but the first one is a website called Canva, and that's actually what I'm going to be using to make the vision board. And then I'm going to be using a second site called Pinterest, which is my favorite website / app, and that's what I'm going to be pulling pictures from to actually put it on the vision board. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. So this is Canva. They have a free version and a subscription version. I have the free version, so I don't think I have access to all of their features, but for what I'm going to be doing today, I think I have access to enough. So I'm going to go ahead and search templates, and we're going to go ahead and search vision board. We'll do vision board photo collage. And there's some pretty good options here. Some of them you have to pay for, you need the pro. This one's cute. This one's really cool. I guess it doesn't matter. I think I'm gonna take a collage and completely strip it. Oh, this one says desktop wallpaper specifically. So I think I'll use this. And then go ahead and completely strip the background. So we're gonna go ahead and delete all of that, and now we are starting fresh. Delete that. So it's blank. X out of that. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm gonna do obviously is pick my background color. Pink is not my favorite color, neither is purple, ironically, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and make my background pink because I like the color even though it's not my favorite. And I like the signaling, like I don't know, I feel like pink is like a traditionally girly color, and I want my year to be very like hashtag soft life and very soft and feminine. There we go. Okay, so now we have the background of our vision board and it's nice and pink, and for me I feel like that's gonna hopefully signify a very soft year where I don't have to work like a dog like I had to in 2023. So we want like a soft, feminine, dainty year. Okay, so I did actually take notes on my phone when I was eating breakfast this morning, and they're very basic notes. I don't even know if you guys can see it through the screen, if my camera will focus. But I was just jotting down like different categories that I wanted to represent in my vision board. And I didn't write anything under the categories, but I think I'm gonna break it down into 5 categories just so that there's some structure to this. And so I wrote down career, personal goals, finances, health, and relationships. So first I'm gonna start with my career. Obviously, if you've seen my previous videos, you know I have a background in healthcare. I have a master's degree in healthcare administration, or an MHA, and I am currently finishing up a nursing degree. So I decided to go back to school, and thank God, by the grace of God, I will be graduating in the spring of 2024. So that is like my biggest thing. I'm going to be switching careers this year officially. Even though it's still under the umbrella of healthcare, I'm moving, away from administration into the clinical setting. I want to work in a hospital. I want to work at the bedside. So I'm going to now go over to Pinterest. So I found a couple of images that I thought would go nicely with the vision board. Here is one. It's very simple. It's just a stethoscope and either a nurse or a doctor in their scrubs with a syringe. So we're gonna go ahead and let's see if we can copy the image and paste it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that up. I think we'll put it down at the bottom since most of the image is down here. Let's see what else. Okay, so I found this wallpaper that says future nurse. I feel like that's perfect because in 2024 I will become a nurse. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in the vision board. Okay, good. Okay, so I found another graphic that says BSN RN. My credentials will be longer than that since I have my master's degree, but I feel like for the purpose of where I want my career to go, since I'm getting my BSN in 2024, this image also would be perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and paste this inside of the vision board, make it smaller. Maybe I'll kind of tuck it away somewhere here in the middle. And then as I get more pictures in my vision board, it'll kind of come together. I feel like this might just look a mess, but it's my first one, so it's fine. So another thing that I'm really looking forward to, I guess this would also be a part of my career because I have to reach graduation, but I am really excited to be able to decorate my graduation cap and finally walk the stage. Even though I have 2 previous degrees, I got my second degree, my MHA, during COVID. And so my graduation was virtual. It was like 10 a.m. on Zoom. I had to work, so I didn't even attend it because I was just kind of like this, it's not really a graduation. So in addition to like being able to obviously be a nurse and to work as a nurse, I'm actually really looking forward to actually getting my cap and gown, decorating my cap. I'm gonna go to Michael's and decorate my cap, walking the stage, having my family be there to see me graduate, especially after supporting me all this time. So I'm going to type in nurse graduation cap because and it's crazy that in just a couple of months I'm going to be decorating my graduation cap. So I'm gonna look up just something simple and cute. I feel like this is very simple, very cute, generic. So I'll go ahead and copy this and we're gonna paste it in the vision board. At least for right now, I think that is it for my career. I feel like in 2024, my biggest goal in terms of career is to graduate nursing school and then to transition to being a bedside nurse and actually being a nurse. So there's not really much that's gonna fall under career. I feel like in previous years, my goal was to like get a new job. Once I become a nurse, I will be looking for a new job. But I feel like in the past, it was like to get a promotion or to get a new job or to move to a different department. So in 2024, my main goal is just to focus on school, pass my exams and graduate, and then to pass the NCLEX and to start working. So they're not too Okay, so the next category is going to be personal goals. So I have two categories. I have one that's personal goals and one that is relationships. I feel like they kind of tie into each other, so maybe I'll do relationships next. But personal goals. So I feel like, I have been in school working full time and going to school full time for like the past 6 years because my nursing program is a 3-year program. And then right before that, I was in a 2.5-year master's program. So I feel like a lot of my life, the last, since like 2018, the very beginning of 2018, end of 2017, my life has very much been work and school. And so I've gotten away from my hobbies and the things that I like to do. And so one of the biggest things I want to focus on in 2024 is kind of getting myself back. All that I do is I go to work, I go to school, I do homework, I go to clinical. And in the past, I liked to do things like listen to music and garden. Traveling is one of my biggest passions. So I'm going to look up images that reflect all of that now on Pinterest. And I want that to be a big part of my vision board. I really just want to get myself back and get my life back in 2024. Oh, I love this, an airplane. This is a really good image to have. I want to travel a lot in 2024. So I love traveling. Traveling is one of my biggest passions. It's something I used to do a lot before I went back to school. With my master's program, I could kind of take breaks here and there. It was actually a 2-year program, but it took me about 2.5 years because I took time off to go to Bali. I went to Ubud in Bali, which is in Indonesia, and I volunteered there with school-age children. They were like 4th and 5th graders, and I went there and I taught them healthcare. And so in order to do that, I had to take time off of my master's program, but it was totally worth it. I worked during the day. So during the weekdays, I created a lesson plan in the morning. In the afternoons, I would go with my partner who also was teaching the kids healthcare. And we would go to the school and we'd spend the whole afternoon with them. We'd get there during their like lunch recess time and we'd play with them, and then we'd get them back into the classroom, get them settled, and we would teach them the lesson plan that we made in the morning. And when I was not working on the weekends and in the afternoons, I went with people in kind of like my homestead, and we saw the city. We traveled to Bali, we went to the beaches. We just really got to experience the culture and experience the food, and that was one of my favorite trips that I've ever been on. My favorite trip that I've ever been on, the favorite place I've ever traveled to was Liberia. Ghana and Liberia. I went back home. I'm from Liberia in Sierra Leone. My mom's from Liberia, born and raised. My father's from Sierra Leone, born and raised. I was born here. And so in 2017, I think, the beginning of 2017, my mom and I went to Liberia, and it was my first time going to West Africa, actually. So we spent about a week in Ghana and I think a week in Liberia, and just getting to go back home, experience that culture, and doing it with my mom was just a once-in-a-lifetime trip. So I really haven't traveled too much since I've been in school. I like to take a lot of local trips with my husband. Our favorite place to travel together is OBX, which is Outer Banks in North Carolina. We've been down to Georgia. We went to Savannah. We go to OBX quite a bit. Anytime that there's like a little break from school, we try to head down to the beach to OBX. If we can't go to OBX, we'll go to Rehoboth because we live in Maryland and that's closer. We've been to Hilton Head. We like to travel all over. Last year during spring break, I was able to take time off of work at the same time that I was off of school. And so we took a trip for my husband's birthday and we went to, where did we go? We went to Jamaica. I had to think about it for a second. We went to Montego Bay in Jamaica. And so that was a fun trip. And so after I graduate, my husband and I want to take another trip. We were looking at Europe, but I don't know if Europe will work out. If Europe does not work out, we want to go to either Mexico or the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico. So we're looking at different places, but we want to travel more domestically, and then we want to take at least 1 or 2 trips out of the country this year. Okay, so I went ahead and added just some things related to music on the vision board. Down here I have an image of the piano. I have this, which is sheet music. And then in the corner here, I have a violin because, like I mentioned, those are all things that I want to get back into in 2024. So one thing that you guys probably don't know about me is that I studied French as a teenager. So all through middle school, all through high school, I studied French. I went to France in a foreign exchange student program in high school. I had a foreign exchange student come here and live with my family for 2 weeks, and we were the host family. And so French is a language that I love. Je parle en français un petit peu, mais je suis mauvais. I want to practice my French more. I've actually been thinking about, and I apologize if that French was just horrible, what you guys just heard a second ago, but I've been looking at taking just like an intro to French class at community college once I graduate nursing school and I have more time on my hands. I have been thinking about the fact that I work anywhere from like 80 to 90 something hours a week. And once I graduate and start working as a staff nurse, my working hours are going to be like cut in half. I'm going to be working probably around 40 hours a week. And so I'm going to have all this free time. So I want to like rest and focus on my family and my health. But part of me is kind of a little bit nervous that I'm not going to know what to do with myself. So I've been looking at taking a French class at the community college so that I just have an opportunity to brush up on my French and then maybe plan a trip to France sometime in 2025. So that'll be for the next vision board, but at least brushing up on my French is something that I want to focus on in my personal life. So I just typed in French and there are all these beautiful images of Paris and the countryside in France, but I wanted something, I mean, this is okay. Je parle français. I speak French. So I'll go ahead and copy this image. Don't love that the hands don't match mine, but I feel like the point behind it is more important. So we're gonna go ahead, shrink that, and put it on the vision board. Okay, so the next area that we're gonna focus on is relationships. I wanna keep this one kind of short, but I feel like I definitely excelled in school and work in 2023, but I feel like my relationships suffered as a result. I cannot count the number of times that I had to cancel plans at the last minute, that I forgot plans. One of my oldest childhood friends had a Christmas party, and literally the day of the party after the party started, that's when I remembered because I was so tired and burnt out. I think I worked like 14 days in a row that week. And so my one day off, I was excited to just rest and go to bed early. And literally when I hit the pillow, I was like, oh my God, today is her party. And so I apologized profusely and she was so understanding. But I feel like stuff like that happened more often than it should have in 2023. And so I want to reconnect with my friends and my family in 2024. And the closer I get to graduation, especially after I graduate and I start working, I really want to put my relationships with my friends and my family before work. I was gonna say before work and school, but I won't have school after spring, so that's exciting. So I definitely want to put that on my vision board now, just as a reminder to be more intentional about that. Okay, so I don't know if this should go in the vision board, but one thing that I also want to focus on, my brother just got engaged. He proposed to his girlfriend. As of me filming this, he proposed to her 2 nights ago, and we were all, the whole family was there and all their friends were there, and it was beautiful. But I have always wanted a sister, and I love my brother's fiance. I was gonna say girlfriend. I love my brother's fiance. She is incredible, and not only is she good for my brother, but I feel like she's good for our family. And I have always wanted a sister. I love my brother to death, but I feel like any girl who doesn't have siblings or doesn't have sisters specifically, I'm sure at one point or another in your life you have always like dreamed of a sister. So as much as I loved my brother, when we were growing up, every time that I had to play like wrestling or WWE, or I had to stand there and block him at basketball, or anytime he was just annoying, I was like, God, why didn't you give me a sister? And that's something I've always wanted. So now that my brother is getting married, I am going to have a sister. I'm really excited. And I feel like I sound like such a creepy stalker. Poor thing. she has to put up with me now. But I don't know if you guys can see, you probably can't see. I'll actually insert a picture. Right after I found out that my brother was going to propose, I got her a gift from me because she doesn't have any siblings, so she doesn't have any sisters. And so I was also excited for her because I was like, oh, she's going to have the best little sister in the world, me, right? So I got her a bracelet from Pandora. I already have one. I like to wear it all the time. So I bought a bracelet from Pandora for her, the charm bracelet that comes blank and you have to buy charms for it. And then I bought a matching sister pendant. So now I added it to my Pandora bracelet. And so she has a Pandora bracelet with one charm. It's the sister charm. And so every time that her and my brother have milestones in their life, I'm going to, get her more charms. So I'm going to find something. My biggest flex is my brother gave me a good sister-in-law. I feel like I have a good relationship with her, but I really want to, it ties back into, spending more time with my family. I want to get to know her more and spend more one-on-one time with her. I feel like I would have done that a long time ago if I was not working 80 hours a week. So especially now that I'm going to have more time in 2024, I want to really be better about like reaching out to her and like forming that bond with her. And then of course, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I feel like my husband kind of was backburnered more than he should have been in 2023, which he is so supportive and amazing. But the number of canceled dates that we've had to have, or the number of times where we were supposed to like watch a movie at home and just have a date night, and I had to pull up my laptop and do homework and write out my care plans while we were spending one-on-one time together. He was such a good sport about it in 2023, but I don't want to have to put him through that in 2024. So I really want to spend more time just giving my husband the attention and support that he always gives me. And so I really want to make that more of a focus in 2024. So if you have not seen my husband, he's been on like one or two of my YouTube videos. I have a health assessment video where he is my patient. We are an interracial couple, and so I know better than to search on Pinterest for that. So I'm going to go ahead and just insert an actual picture of us in the vision board instead of trying to look for a black woman, white man couple on Pinterest, because that's already going to be a headache. He and our picture is going to go in the center. I love this photo of us. It was in a photo shoot that we did just a few months ago. It was a fall photo shoot that we did in the woods. It was very impromptu, but it was really nice. And we took a lot of nice photos. This was not the best photo that we took, but this picture was actually a selfie that we took as we were like walking away from the photo shoot. We were walking back to our car. We just took an impromptu selfie. We both look a little bit goofy, but there's just something so genuine and unstaged about this photo. I've always loved it. It's actually my current computer screen background just because of how natural it looks. So from the shoot, this is by far my favorite picture. So the next category that I am going to put on my vision board, it's really filling up, which, I'm almost done. So we're getting to the end. But the next category is going to be, I think, finances. So 2023 for finances was a good year. I made a lot of sacrifices. If you haven't seen my previous videos, along with my husband, we own a townhouse in Maryland. So we still own our townhouse. We bought our townhouse in 2020. We lived there for a few years. The goal was always to move out of the townhouse, but keep it and rent it out and become property managers. So that is what we did in 2023. We moved all of our stuff out of the house. We downsized. We still own it, but we have a tenant in there now paying rent. And so we are property managers. And while we're managing that property, making money off of that property, we are saving up to buy ourselves a single family home. Depends on the market. I'm not going to get into all of that. But ideally, if the stars align, that would be happening sometime at the very end of 2024 or in the first half of 2025. It just depends on the market and everything like that. So I think I'm going to look up a home, which I hate visualizing houses, but for the purpose of this vision board and for next year, I feel like it's relevant. I'm not picky. I feel like this is nice. This is actually really nice. I feel like I'm downplaying this, but this is really nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it really tiny on my vision board so it's you know, not like a tacky mansion. No offense to anyone that's making a vision board and putting big homes on their vision board, but I feel like it's really just to serve as a reminder why we downsized. Part of the reason why we downsized, because downsizing was not fun this year. It was really stressful. Even though we became property managers and it was great for the overall goal, it was a huge sacrifice, and it has been a huge sacrifice. But I feel like it's important to put something on the vision board to visualize why we did it. So I feel like once we buy our single family home, we're living in it, and we still own and are property managers of the townhouse, I feel like it'll be one of those things where, like, while we're going through it, it sucks. But once we've achieved our goal, it will, like, we'll be like, this was worth it. We're glad that we did it. Okay, so now the very last category is health. I want this to be one of, like, the bigger focuses of 2024 for me, just because I feel like my health has declined significantly over, like, the last 6 years, which is a really long time, especially since I'm only 30, to have a chunk of time of 6 years where I'm not sleeping well. Smudge is getting irritated by my voice, but to have such a big chunk of time where I have not been sleeping well, eating well, exercising consistently, that is huge. And so in 2024, especially after I graduate, I want to be eating better, sleeping more, drinking more water, working out. Working out's actually a hobby of mine that I just haven't really had time to do consistently over the last few years. So in 2024, I want to get back into a routine where I'm going to the gym at least 3 times a week. Before I went back to school in 2018, I was going to the gym 5 to 6 times a week on average. I'd usually take off, like, Sunday to rest. But I was one of those people that I'd wake up at 5 a.m., I'd be at the gym by 5:30 and have a full workout and shower in before going to work. So the thought of that now feels kind of crazy, but I feel like the hardest part is just getting into it. And then once it's a part of your routine, it comes very naturally. I did it for years before I went back to school. So I'm gonna go on Pinterest and I'm going to look up just different images of healthy foods and the gym and water and sleeping, and I'm going to sprinkle that throughout the vision board. So this is my vision board. I feel like it's very representative. Not the cutest, but like I said, it's my first time making it. It's very representative of what I want 2024 to look like. I have me graduating and becoming a nurse, me focusing on my friends and my family more than I did in 2023, me traveling more, me spending time doing my hobbies like playing the piano, playing the violin, me resting, me being kinder to myself, and just overall, hopefully I will have a good 2024. I really want to just focus on myself, improving my life, and improving the areas of my life that do not have to do with my career and with school. I really want to pour more into my personal life. And so I feel like that is very representative of the vision board that I created. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make this my computer background so that I will be able to see it and visualize it every single day. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for creating a vision board with me. I was filming in front of a beautiful window, but now the sun is going down. And so I feel like it's getting darker and darker and darker. So I apologize for that. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching this video. I encourage you to either make your own vision board or at least to write out the goals or the things that you want to be intentional about in the new year. I found that it really does help me. So I'm hoping that having visualizations will help me even more than what I normally do, just writing out my goals. But anyway, thank you guys again for making it to the end of this video. Thank you for supporting me all of 2023, and I am looking forward to continuing my YouTube channel in 2024. Bye guys.